Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We have some breaking news to start our news tonight. The NDSU men's Bison basketball team is going to the big dance. The Bison, not expected to get to this point, has surpassed many and played very well throughout the year.
Tonight's final score, NDSU 57, South Dakota State 56. It was a nail-biter, and it's the second straight year that the NDSU men's Bison basketball team is going to the NCAA Premier Postseason Tournament. Valley News Live Sports Director Beth Houle is in Sioux Falls. And are we going to her now? It looks like we are. Beth?
Hey, Mike and Steph, what an exciting finish to this one, down to the wire. NDSU and South Dakota State, the #1 team versus the #2 team, co-Summit League regular season champions, fighting it out here. In the end, it was Lawrence Alexander leading this team in the second half, had 25 points in this game, and led the way, especially in the second half. NDSU, your Summit League tournament champions with back-to-back NCAA tournament berths. The exciting moment here, you can see the fans on the court behind me right now. The fans rush the court as that buzzer hit 0. NDSU men's basketball team, against all odds this year, the #5 preseason pick, showed everyone that they had what it took to be Summit League back-to-back champions. We've got plenty more coming up in sports. The highlights from this one, both first and second half highlights. Stick with us right now live. Beth Houle, Valley News Live Sports.
Exciting times in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and yes, we will have more for you coming up. In other news tonight, looking to hire someone to get the work done, so are local contractors. The demand is high for those who possess construction skills. The snow is barely off the ground, and already contractors are gearing up for construction season.
They are. Valley News Team's Krista Boehm learned why it's become a challenge to hire some good hands that know how to do the job and what that means if you are looking to build.
Almost mid-March, and you can hear this sound in the distance.
The community here is growing by leaps and bounds. Everywhere you look, there's a new building going up, new houses, new apartment buildings, new businesses.
Between major projects like Sanford, the state's largest, to home developments, you can spot people getting to work. But with so many projects, big and small, it's a double-edged sword for contractors. The work is there, but finding workers is a big challenge.
There's so much demand for the work out there that the skilled positions are getting spread a little thin.
The need for qualified employees is greater now than Aaron Erickson has seen in the last 10 years with Comstock Construction, forcing some businesses to get creative, adding incentives to hire those with skills.
We are looking at people in school, sponsoring them through school, and when they graduate from the trade school or tech school, they'll come to work for Grants Mechanical.
Despite the hiring difficulties, contractors I spoke to say that's just one factor in what has spiked the cost to get the jobs done.
It definitely drives, I mean, the competition definitely drives up. Wages drives up, prices of the commodities that you're building. I mean, everything goes up with that.
With the boom out west, the skilled workers moved with it.
The labor force is not here what it was 6 years ago. And we're trying to get some of them back, which hopefully now they will.
A price both the contractor and consumers have to pay. Krista Boehm, Valley News Live.
Job Service in Fargo says construction is one of the highest fields in demand, along with careers in healthcare.
Moorhead police are looking for the man wanted in an armed robbery this afternoon at Little Caesars, just north of I-94 near 8th Street in Moorhead. Witnesses described him as a thin black man wearing a gray sweatshirt and a ski mask with either camouflage or khaki pants. He's about 6 feet tall and in his mid-20s. Moorhead police are asking you, if you know anything, give them a call. And if you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. 701-237-6576. Call that number and leave your tip.
Authorities are working on a major case of animal abuse in the Northern Valley following a tip from a neighbor. 51 beagle dogs were removed from a home in Shelley, Minnesota. One dog was dead at the home. 23 of the dogs were taken to the Polk County Humane Society in Crookston. The rest were taken to shelters all around Fargo.
Oh, look, they're so happy he's sleeping. Missing an ear that was probably bitten off, I would guess, at some point in time. And but they all appear to be fed. But there's going to be some skin problems that we're seeing.
Now, the Humane Society workers were busy tonight naming and evaluating the conditions of the dogs. And they also are saying that once the dogs are given that clearance they need medically, there will be a lot of beagles available up for adoption for you in the valley.
A grocery store that prides itself as natural and organic will open its first North Dakota location in Fargo. Natural Grocers will be located at 4517 13th Avenue South. The opening date has not yet been announced, but the store will offer fresh produce and offer natural and organic groceries, body care, and supplements. The company says it will bring about 25 new jobs to Fargo and is currently hiring for all positions. It's that time again for our weekly restaurant report card.
That's where we pull the most recent health inspections to find out which restaurants have a dirty slate and which wins the clean plate. Valley News Team's Christina Craig pays a visit to Valley City.
Our first stop, Sabir's Dining and Lounge along Winter Show Drive. Now, in their most recent health inspection report, they were slapped the most violations, totaling in at 8. 5 critical.
Ice scoop, it was right on the top of the ice machine.
Which isn't the most sanitary of places. Some of the more severe violations, the sanitizer concentration in the dishwasher was not at the proper level. And the menus do not have a proper disclosure to customers that some meat dishes are undercooked.
We've been told a couple times that when we change the menu, we need to put that on there, and we haven't changed the menu.
Once a new menu is printed, management says that change will happen. Management further comments that this was their first negative report and most problems were fixed on the spot.
You have to have a date marked.
1 critical violation out of 4 the VFW was cited in their most recent health report. On top of that, some of the criticals include employees handling some types of food with bare hands.
Our dishwasher wasn't working right. You know, our temperature was way down.
And that doesn't kill germs. In fact, it spreads them. Management says all violations have been fixed since inspectors paid them a visit.
They work with you, not against you. And there's always a few things that we're going to overlook, things that they're going to help us out.
Our last stop is at Chinese Palace. The last time we were here, they won our Clean Plate Award. But unfortunately, this time around, they were cited 7 violations, 3 critical. One of the major issues, the walk-in cooler was above 45 degrees.
We are not 100% perfect, right? But we try to do the perfect.
Management says all necessary changes have been made to keep you safe. In Valley City, Christina Craig, Valley News Live.
And we saved a sweet treat for last. Winning this week's Clean Plate Award is Clark's Cakes and Catering in Valley City. They had a spotless report.
If you live in South Fargo and get a call from a principal soon, it's probably because you're impacted by boundary changes. The Fargo School Board tonight approving changes for Eagles Elementary School for the 2016-2017 school year. Building principals will contact affected families and will speak to them about their options.
It's supposed to be one of the most protected addresses in the world, and now the White House has a new security challenge that the Secret Service must face, the potential threat from drones. But now if a drone zeroes in on the White House, agents would be able to block the radio signal that connects the drone to its controller. They can then shoot it down, but risk detonating an explosive or maybe hitting people. There's no word yet on how long the tests will last. Well, tonight on The Voice, 20-year-old Michael Lear from Fargo was paired up with Blaze Johnson on the head-to-head battle to move in the game, giving the other judges a chance to steal them from their own team. Now, unfortunately, Michael will be returning home as Blaze Johnson will be moving forward with Team Adam. But regardless of tonight's results, congratulations. Fargo is so proud of you.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
Another gorgeous day today. Take a look at this sunset. Clear blue sky, beautiful colors there. And we looked and felt warm outside. Temperatures today warmed back into the 50s in many spots. 58 degrees the high in Fargo. That is a tie for the record that was set on this date back in 1911. So we're hitting another record for the 3rd day in a row. 53 the high in Grand Forks, 52 in Valley City, over toward the east, a little cooler there, 48 in Bemidji, and the high 45 in Roseau. Here's a look at our current temperatures. We're all basically in the 30s now, 36 in Roseau, 32 in Grand Forks, Fargo Fargo's at 37 degrees and a 31-degree reading over in the Bemidji area. Nice and quiet on the radar satellite composite too. Across the valley, a few clouds starting to push in into our western viewing area, but otherwise looking quiet. Again, a little disturbance north of the region, but we may see a sprinkle or two right along the international border once again overnight tonight. So kind of a repeat of what we saw last night, and our forecast is going to be a repeat as well, with warm and sunny conditions on the way. We'll step you through our hour-by-hour forecast here to show you how this will play out. Again, clear to the south. We'll see more clouds up to the north through the overnight hours. Temperatures dipping down to near or even below the freezing mark tonight. So just be aware there might be a couple of slippery patches out there with the melting that's been going on for the last several days. Taking a peek at our cloud cover, again, we do have some places that we may be seeing a little bit of precipitation right along the international border. Otherwise, on the quiet side once again to start off our day, with very light wind for us in the morning hours, if not just calm. Around 8 o'clock, temperatures start to rise. We see temperatures back above the freezing mark in the southern and western part of the Red River Valley. And up to the north and east, that's where we're still dealing with clouds at that point. Even toward the noon hour, we may be stuck under the clouds over toward Roseau and the Baudette region, at least for the first part of the day. We'll warm up, though. We'll see some sunshine there as well into the afternoon hours. We'll show you that here. Wind generally out of the southeast, and with that, we'll see it pick up into the 20s and 30s into the afternoon, and sunshine really helping temperatures to rise. A drying wind moving into, so very dry and warm throughout our afternoon hours. So gorgeous day once again. Temperatures back into the 40s and low to even upper 50s for highs across the region for tomorrow. So basically a repeat of today, a little bit on the breezy side. The wind's just coming out of a different direction instead of the northwest. Now we're looking at a more of a southerly wind for our Wednesday. Beautiful conditions once again, and a few clouds maybe later on in the nighttime hours tomorrow night. So a repeat of the great conditions we've got coming up here, and we're enjoying some clear skies that allowed Linda Johnson to grab this photo of the full moon yesterday morning. This is the KVLY Tower in Blanchard. It's a really cool shot of the moon next to it. And here we go, back into the 60s finally, after we saw temperatures that were a little on the cold side at times this winter. We are really getting a nice break from the winter, with temperatures rising their way back up to 61 degrees on Thursday. A slight setback on Friday, if you consider 52 degrees a setback.
Yeah, no.
Before we climb right back up into the 60s.
Nice.
Both days this weekend. It's looking great.
Awesome, Lisa. Thanks so much.
You bet.
Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, how parents could be playing a role in the increased number of children getting CT scans. And
a well-known friend was honored tonight at the Fargo Air Museum.
You're watching Valley News Live.